Hello people of YouTube, Tazai once more, the Crimson Assassin, sick as fuck, giving you guys another anime review. You can probably hear it in my voice. I feel like shit. I am super sick. I should lay down. I should not really be talking. But I'm gonna do this review anyway because who the hell cares? Luckily my throat is a good condition to do a long extensive review. And today people, we're going to be talking about the sequel to the 1997 anime Berserk. Now, people of YouTube, I've already saw the original Berserk and I fell in love. I really loved the 1997 original Berserk. I fell in love with it. You know, it's just a masterpiece. I still to this day think that it is a real good masterpiece and people should just go watch it because even if it ends in such a piece of shit ending, the anime itself is just worth watching for the characters and their interactions, and I loved it. I loved the original Berserk. So when I heard earlier this year that they were going to bring back Berserk, I was very excited. I fell in love with Berserk. I love Berserk. So, needless to say, I could not wait for this anime to come on, finish, so I can watch and review. And it's funny enough because I reviewed Berserk in the month of October, and we're in the month of October, and I'm doing another review for Berserk. How funny is that, huh? How that's what goes around comes around, if that makes sense. So people of YouTube, now before I get into the actual review itself, I do know that this anime is going to have another season coming in spring 2017, and to which I have to say, great, cool. I love Berserk. I want more Berserk. But I do have issues with it. So even if there's issues that might be fixed in the 2017 of Berserk, there's going to be issues still to this day of the 2016 Berserk. If that makes sense. So people of YouTube, keep that in mind. And without further delay, let's get on with the actual review. By the way, one more thing. Major spoilers. If you have not seen the original Berserk, major spoilers. I do not want to spoil the experience of watching Berserk. If you want to watch Berserk, there's a few ways you could watch it. You can either watch the original 1997 Berserk, or you can watch the original, the 3 movies that basically recap the entire story of Berserk. Personally, go watch the movies because they are more faithful to the manga, and you know, you won't get missed out on a bunch of stuff that happens in the original Berserk. And personally, I recommend you try go watching the movies, but if you do want to, you know, old school style, watch the original 1997 Berserk. So without further ado, let's talk about the story. So the story of Berserk 2016 basically follows 2 years after the events of the eclipse that happened when Griffith basically wipes out the entire band of the Hawk, and Guts is out seeking revenge for trying to find him. And what he does is that he searches after these apostles, these guys that work with Griffith, and he wants to try to locate them, slaughter them, and hopefully they will lead them to find Griffith. Along the way, Guts finds out that Casca has gone missing, so it's up to basically Guts to find Casca and to save her from this inevitable fate, and that's all I can really say. That's all I could say. And you follow them, and while Guts tries to keep his sanity, crazy fucking shit happens. I mean, some crazy shit, people. Like Berserk is just well known for not holding shit back, and we're gonna get into that right now, actually. So the first thing I want to talk about of the Berserk, the 2016 version at least, we might as well get the elephant out of the room: the CGI. The CGI of Berserk, you know, nowadays, is quite tolerable. Like, to be honest, it doesn't really hinder the overall experience if you're just enjoying the whole story and you don't really care for CGI, you just want to see the stuff happening and you just care about the story. It doesn't really matter, and that's what I kind of took it. All I wanted was to know the story and, you know, how the characters were doing and stuff. So the CGI is quite tolerable. At some scenes, it does get a little jarring, but most of the time, the CGI is, like I said, very tolerable. And I just find it very meh. You know, it's not the best. You know, a lot of animes nowadays are trying to do something different with their CGI, and I don't know, I just find it very tolerable this time around in Berserk. But there is one thing about the animation we'll get into a little later that I find very annoying. But for the most part, the CGI is very tolerable. If you just don't care about it too much like I do, you will have a good time watching Berserk. I'll guarantee you that. The story this time around is pretty decent, actually. In Berserk standards, it's very good. And I was kind of upset because I did read a bit of the manga of Berserk, and there's one thing that happens in the manga of Berserk. They actually skipped an entire arc. They skipped the whole Lost Children's arc, and I thought, why? You know, I don't really mind it, actually, because the Lost Children's arc was very boring, in my opinion, and I didn't really finish it. I didn't really finish that arc. Like, I totally forgot where I left off in that entire arc because it was very boring. I didn't like that arc. But this arc of Berserk, I forgot though, this one, I think it was the Holy Knights arc. This arc was really good. Very good. And I did like how it ended. It ended in a very pretty decent note. And again, in a cliffhanger, but you know what? We're getting another season, 2017, so yay! But I did like the story in this arc. This arc was very solid. And the characters, most of them, they're really solid. Guts is basically the same as he was in the original Berserk. He's still solid, still very badass. I love how he handles shit. I love how he fights. He just has this big, huge, giant sword. Now he just slices up people in half. I absolutely loved it. It was just fucking great. I loved that shit. Guts. Oh, I seriously do not want to mess with this man. This man, nope. Nope. I ain't messing with them. I'm never messing with Guts. Nope. Nope. Some of the newer characters that were introduced in Berserk, there's one girl named Luca. I actually very liked her character, and I liked her little story arc, and with, you know, her being a whore and stuff, and it kind of makes sense on why she's doing all this stuff. You actually get a little bit of who she is and what's her backstory is. I actually really liked it. And what else can I say about the characters? Casca, holy shit, did they mindfuck Casca? Like, whoo! In the original Berserk, Casca was like a fucking monster, and you know she could always she could always, you know, not depend on anyone else but herself. She's very she was once a very, God, I'm so sick. I can't even talk. She's a very awesome character. Let's just put it like that. And what they did to her in the Berserk 2016, I mean, can you really blame her? She's like completely mind rape. Like, she can't even talk. Like all you'll hear is from Casca. And I was like, damn, they really mind fucked her. But I mean, like I said, can you blame her? She's freaking like she's mind raped. She's mind raped. Like, that's all it is. Hey, ReZero. She was mind raped. She was mind raped. But I did like what they did with her, and you know, like her effects after the events. Like, it was very good. I like that. Now, one character I thought would be very annoying, but honestly, he wasn't that annoying as I expected. He was very annoying in the manga. Let's just put it like that. But this time around, he's actually very tolerable. It's actually Puck. Now, when I first saw Puck, I just said, fuck, it's Puck. But Puck is very tolerable in the anime. I thought he was going to be very annoying. In fact, he actually contributes to the story. He actually does a lot of things to help Guts out. And I thought that was pretty awesome. And so, he was very good. Another character that I kind of thought I would hate, it was this guy named Ishidoro. And his name was kind of like a play on word because he's a thief, and Doro means thief, and or petty thief, or whatever his name is. But I thought he was going to annoy me even more, and yes, at some points he does. But I do like how he is. He's kind of like the comic relief character, and he served his purpose very well. I mean, he was pretty funny at some scenes, and I kind of liked him. The action this time around is very solid, and I do love the action scenes that happen, especially with the ones with Guts and just his swinging his big-ass sword around. It's so cool. I love what they did. And hell, it's those scenes that make the CGI very tolerable. I'm actually not going to lie. Just seeing Guts just swing his sword around, you know, that's what the CGI was meant for, just meant for guts swinging. But for the actual, like, normal scenes, I mean, forget about it. But all in all, I really did like the action in the anime. The music is very solid. I love this new theme song that they had for Berserk with Guts. I really like that. The opening theme is very awesome. I love that opening theme to death. And that's pretty much it. That's all the positives I could say about Berserk 2016. The cons, there's quite a few. And that's very sad because I did rate the original Berserk a 10 out of 10. So it's very saddening for me to give this anime a cons. Breaks my heart. But here they are, people of YouTube. The first and major problem that I had with Berserk 2016 is the constant switch between 2D and 3D animations. Let me explain. You see, Berserk, tends to switch in some scenes here and there. Some scenes, they had full-on 3D CGI animation. But there are also some moments that switch to 2D animation, so it kind of makes me confused. Like, do you want to be a 2D anime or a 3D anime? And, like, it's just, every time they just cut to a new scene and stuff, some had 2D, some has 3D. Hell, some even has 2D and 3D mixed in with it. So, for example, you'll have a 3D character model talking to a 2D character. It's very confusing, and I thought it was very distracting, because some scenes, it has full-on 2D, but some scenes have full-on 3D, so it just constantly goes back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, between 2D and 3D, and it was very annoying. Like, pick and choose which one you want, Berserk. You can't appease both crowds, because the major complaint that people have with Berserk 2016 is, of course, the CGI. Yeah! And the CGI is very tolerable. But the constant switch between 2D, 3D, 2D, 3D, 2D, 2D, then more 3D. It's very confusing, and it catches you off guard. It's very annoying. Stop doing that. It's very annoying. And some of the characters of the anime, I just freaking hate. Like, there's this one girl character named Nina, I think her name is, and she just bitches and moans and whines throughout the entire anime, and you all know how much I love those characters, right? Wrong. And, excuse me, I'm very sick here. You have this one character named Farness, and talk about wasted potential. I thought, the way that they were showing off this character, very hype-like. Nope. Wasted potential. And plus, her handmaid, like whoever this other person is, like the one who has his eyes closed throughout the entire anime, who helps Farness out, I think his name is Serpico or whatever, also wasted potential. He had like one action scene throughout the entire anime, and that was with Guts, excuse me, and that was it. He barely supported the story of whatever. He was very pointless. A very pointless character. And plus, I don't like how it ended in a cliffhanger. Like, wow, seriously? You're gonna have to make me wait even longer or else read the manga, Oh well, it's the age we live in, the age of 2D and 3D and fucking piece of shit. Read the manga endings or wait until there's a second season in 2017, which there is going to be a second season in 2017. Either way, Berserk 2016 is very solid. It follows the Holy Knights arc, and the way how they tackled the arc was very faithful to the manga, from what I'm told. Again, I've never read too far into the manga, but oh well. Berserk 2016 is very solid. It basically kind of is like the same from Berserk 2000 or the 1997 Berserk, just more modern. And I do like, Berserk 2016. It's very solid, and it's very sad that I have to give it a lower review than its original adaptation. But it is what it is. I'm going to give Berserk 2016 an 8.5 out of 10. I do think it's a very good anime. And I do hope if you're a fan of Berserk and if you love it to death, go check out Berserk 2016, especially if you outright love that manga. With that being said, people of YouTube, 'tis I once more, the Crimson Assassin. You know, doing 2 anime reviews. I did 2 anime reviews this week, so I'm getting back in there. And hopefully later on you get another anime review. And hopefully you'll get a reaction video. I'm not going to reveal what it is yet. But who knows? Who cares? 'Tis I once more, the Crimson Assassin. Signing out. Sick as fuck. Peace, people.